I wasn't going to do this today, but I decided to do it anyway. So I'm spreading out compost in the yard. Let me tell you something, the compost I normally get from the city does not stink, but this stuff has a very, very special smell. I mean, imagine feet that are on fire. That's what this smells like. Worse. It's no bueno, not even a little. Hi everybody, I want to take a couple minutes and kind of explain to you a couple things about this video. So as I was editing the video, one of the things that I realized was that I didn't do a good job of explaining the why behind the compost going into my lawn. Now, if you all remember, back in January timeframe, I actually did a soil composition test on my lawn. And a couple things that I realized. Number one is that I have a lot of clay in the lawn. And number two, the test came back showing that I was actually pretty low in nitrogen. So a couple things that I wanted to do this year was to introduce a lot more organic material. And my choice was to do it through compost. And number two is to help increase the level of nitrogen. Now, I have put down nitrogen through a Scotts product. That's going to help, obviously. But I also want to do that by putting down compost because that's just a natural way of introducing nitrogen as it breaks down. A couple things to keep in mind: compost is great for introducing those organic materials. However, it is not necessarily very good from a leveling standpoint. Now, you're going to get some leveling just because it's going to level out some of the low spots, but that will break down over time. So if you're going to level your lawn, obviously sand or a mixture of sand and topsoil are going to be a good choice for that. But for the purposes of actual doing leveling that's going to be more permanent on your lawn, compost is not going to be a good choice for that. So just keep that in mind. That's going to be a separate project. I am going to do a lot more leveling in my entire lawn. But for right now, the reason I use compost was simply to, number one, introduce organic material into my lawn, and number two, help with the nitrogen levels. That's pretty much it. So enjoy the rest of the video. So today we are going to finish spreading out the compost on the lawn. This corner has a hard time growing. In fact, if you look right up here, I'm going to put down some compost, but when you look right there, you can see how it just doesn't want to grow very much. A lot of that has to do with the heat in the afternoon coming off of the patio. That's our compost, which stinks like burnt feet. And then we're going to use whatever's left, and I'm going to spread it out here, and then around this planter here, and then whatever I can get down the hill. And then I'm gonna leave the lawn alone for a little while. I don't want it to be trampled anymore. Let the compost kind of take its place, and then I'll do compost down the hill another time. But also I need a break. So there's that. All right, folks. So I finished all of the compost that I had, which is about a yard. I got this whole back section here, got the whole front. So the only thing I need now really is to do this hill. But I'm gonna do that hill another day because I don't want to trample the grass that I have right now. This is gonna wait for another weekend. I'll keep you guys posted on what this looks like, and I'll come back to it in a couple days so you can see if this has had any effect. I've got some real dry spots up there. I think the compost will definitely help it keep wet. And then I've got some issue areas right there, obviously. So we'll see what happens. But the key is to water it on a semi-regular basis and see if I can control some of the moisture and get it to green up quickly. But I think it does a pretty good job when I keep it wet. And as you can see, my project lawn looks amazing.